I'm Ashton Addison from Blockwest Capital for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Leighton Emmons, the co-founder of the Blockchain Boys Club. Leighton, welcome to the show, and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me on here, Ashton. It's a pleasure to be on here, and hi to everyone who's watching.
Awesome. I'm excited to dive into the BC Boys Club, the NFTs, and the exclusive perks and benefits that your team has created within this initiative. I would love for you to kick us off by just hearing a little bit about what is the Blockchain Boys Club and how did you come about starting it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of my co-founders and I, we've been involved in the blockchain space since 2017, so about 4 years now. And our first introduction was really during the ICO craze at that time. I don't know if you remember that. I still remember the subreddits of Bitcoin when it just broke $4,000 and everyone was going crazy. And blockchain was just such a trending and buzzword at that time. And so it was really exciting to kind of get it on the ground floor of projects, both just to kind of see the space evolve and then also the financial benefit of investing early in some of these projects. But funny enough, that was actually some of my first exposure also to trading, across stocks, equities, you name it. Following subsequently the 2018 crash, there was no one ever there to tell you, by the way, 10,000% returns are not normal. Yeah, you're supposed to sell, right? And so, my co-founder and I, in all honesty, we fell into bouts of depression, mad anxiety. You wake up trying to check crypto charts every single day. And it was really, we just had no support system. There was no one there to kind of bounce ideas off of, give feedback, give you a little bit of instruction, help you navigate the space in terms of an exit strategy, right? Once you've made a tiny bit of money, how do you filter out? How do you deal with the whole emotional side that comes along with trading? Because I think, as a lot of people know with cryptocurrencies, it's very much a mind game more than it is just being rational, right? And I think that's investing in general to a certain extent. So we kind of, again, we wanted to come from a place with this project of kind of solving a real world problem. So we kind of looked inwards, we figured out how can we kind of solve this issue that we've dealt with, right? We were a little bit late to the whole DeFi craze that happened in 2019. And then even still, in the very early days of the NFT market. And it really just seemed like the NFT medium, if you will, was the perfect bridge to kind of bring together a community of like-minded blockchain and crypto enthusiasts, investors, traders, founders, creators, bring all of that insight into one space that it would kind of relieve the burden off any single person. And you could benefit from the collective knowledge of the community as a whole. And in that light, just like relieve stress, relieve pressure off any single person. Yeah.
Love it, Leighton. And yeah, that you're right about a lot of people got involved in 2017 and actually started trading for the first time, getting exposed to not just the hype, but markets and realizing that 10,000% isn't normal. You're right. And
yeah, it was a crazy time to be alive. And we're still seeing crazy returns, right? Just in the last year, there's all kinds of crazy things happening. But again, I think following the 2018 crash, we're going to see what happens after this bull market, right? What kind of projects really thrive. And again, there was projects that were dying. There were new ones that were coming alive. And it was just in the blockchain space, because it's such an exciting and emerging technology, there's new stuff every day, right? There's a new project, there's a new coin. I think half the people watching this are probably thinking, what is even an NFT? Even though it's been around for a year, it's just like there's so much going on. And what if there was just a space of community where you could you genuinely rely on the quality of information? And again, we've been part of some of subreddits that just divulge into absolute toxicity. There's a whole kind of like cultish dynamic that followed in 2018, 2019 with crypto followings and communities. People get very emotionally attached to their investments, and it's all human nature, right? You invest in something, it goes down, and it kind of makes you even more beholden to the project, which is, it's one of those like ironic things. And again, this is just all human nature. I'm not trying to say it's right or wrong. I've fallen victim to it too, just as many other people have. But again, we're just kind of really trying to come full circle and introduce more of a human element to the whole cryptocurrency space, because it is stressful. You will be anxious at times. And if you haven't felt either of those two things, you haven't been in cryptocurrency long enough, right? So
love it. And so from what I understand, you have the Blockchain Boys Club, and I really do think that there needs to be more places like this for traders to console, to talk to friends, to have support in rationalizing, their decisions and what they think about the market. And from what I understand, like, the blockchain boys got your back if you're in the club.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, so for example, we just tried to launch initiative this week. We wanted to identify and research 10 different projects that weren't on the top 200 of CoinMarketCap. And right, like, if you were to go with that alone, where would you even start, right? You've got over 500 projects to research. But when you suddenly band together a little bit more kind of expertise of the community, and we can finalize something together where it's like, hey, look, everyone, I think these are going to be the 10 best decisions, all based on feedback. We have meaningful debates, meaningful discussions, and figure out some of those things together. And at the end of the day, we all benefit collectively. So that's also the greatest thing, right? Is when you're making money alongside your friends. So
definitely. And I'd love to elaborate a little bit more on, the club itself and just on the NFTs. From what I understand, you have a limited edition number of NFTs that are coming out and they're not out yet.
Exactly that. So we've got 5,555 unique NFTs that are going to be published. The mint price is going to be 0.065 Ethereum. I mean, you can find a lot more of this information on our website. And then inclusive in the club is not just access to the community. There's a whole host of benefits that come along with it. So we've got, first of all, access to something we're calling the terminal, which is an extension of our Discord. It's a community portal where you can meet other members. You can get some of these trading signals, stay on top of market trends, get relevant news with regards to cryptocurrencies you invest in. Just kind of simplify the process, again, of making smart, rational decisions. We've got a liquidation grant for in case you've been margin called, to kind of help out some of our community members. We've been there. We've had some scary. Anytime you get that email, asking you to put more funds into your account because you're about to get liquidated, it's a scary and frightening notification to be getting. So again, relieve the stress there. We've got exclusive merchandise. We've got a community trading pool, which again, this was kind of a two-part thing. One, we wanted to help generate more revenue for the organization. So we take in kind of decisions and suggestions from our community members to help grow this pool, which, kind of just increases the prosperity of the project as a whole. But at the same time, those decisions are very much what you can follow along to, right? So we're saying, hey, look, I think this is a meaningful project. Let's put a portion of our capital into this. And then it's like, well, then I also have that ability to put my money into there. So again, it's all kind of to the benefit of our holders. And then, we've got a bunch of weekly lotteries. And something really exciting is all of our members will also get a portion of ownership of our podcast, which we're going to be creating, our media-owned content. And again, the podcast is going to be purely around just kind of the more comical, lighthearted side of cryptocurrency, right? Some crazy stories of people who have made it all and lost it all. People who have bet on kind of the worst projects and, just totally lost their money. Again, like, cryptocurrency is such a fast, dynamic space. There's so much going on. It's so stressful. Like, again, just trying to kind of bring it full circle and help people realize at the end of the day, they are just digits on a screen, right? But at the same time, a lot of people are trying to make fortunes out of it. But again, we just want to kind of help people realize sometimes the stress isn't worth it. And there is a kind of a playful side to it. So
definitely, Leighton, I agree. And I just wanted to clarify, I'm guessing that women can also join the boys clubs, not exclusively for men?
Oh, by all means. When we represent 50% of the population, we'd love for them to be 50% of the club if it could work that way. The cryptocurrency space, I feel like, is mostly dominated by men. So it wasn't necessarily a direct marketing ploy on our part. We very much, with the merchandise that we've created, with the concept that we've built out, we very much just came from the space of like, what would we think sounds cool, sounds fun? So that's how we kind of landed on the Blockchain Boys Club. And by all means, all women are more than welcome. Yeah.
Amazing. And it's incredible that you mentioned that liquidation fund there. I actually haven't heard of that in a club yet. So that's amazing if somebody accidentally gets wrecked or something like that, and the community is actually there to support them financially as well. That's incredible. Plus all the other benefits that you mentioned, and sort of makes me think that it sounds very much like a DAO, like a decentralized autonomous organization. And I've seen a lot of these NFT clubs sort of create DAOs. Is that something that you're working towards, or it's similar, or it's just really a name, a title that you're putting onto the club itself? And what do you think about DAOs?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we're 100% working towards the DAO. We'd love for the organization to be self-sufficient in its own capacity, which is why we've built out a few of these benefits that have direct revenue possibilities and channels back into the organization. So it can be self-sufficient both financially, but at the end of the day, we also rely on the contributions of our members. And I mean that in terms of like input, insight, information. So by all means, we just invite people to come out to the Discord, engage with us, shoot us DMs. We'll reply to you. Again, we're just looking to meet other people who are interested in cryptocurrencies, looking to learn a little bit more about trading. If you don't know anything about trading, I'm not going to say that we do because we've learned the hard way on a lot of different things. But by all means, just come out, and chat to us.
Definitely, and you definitely learn a lot more when you lose than when you win.
Absolutely, I'd like to think so. As painful as it might sound, that's usually the way it works. And I think we've all made some expensive mistakes, expensive learnings, should I say? But yeah.
And I was looking into the other benefits of being in the club, and I was reading about there's some kind of lottery, and there's also a buyback program. Maybe you could touch on those.
Yeah, I think the internet's cutting a little bit out here. So we also have a buyback program, which is part of our roadmap. So when we complete our full sale, we're actually going to dedicate a certain portion to buying up any of the NFTs at the original mint price. That way, just kind of create a little bit of price security around the floor price and ensure that kind of all our holders will be able to at least profit off of their investment.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And you mentioned there's 5,555 NFTs, and there is like a wait list, and people on your Discord are the ones who have access to the pre-sale. Can you talk more about how people who are just finding out about Blockchain Boys Club can get access to the community and the pre-sale and to the NFTs?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a Discord, which is also attached to our website. So our website is blockchainboys.club. And our Discord is discord.gg/blockchainboysclub. And if you come out there, we've got a few requirements to meet in the way of getting on the whitelist. But it really just comes down to engagement, because we just wanted people to kind of begin interacting with the space. And we really wanted to open up the possibility of members, or should I say, make the requirement that they have to kind of contribute a little bit to the community before they can simply purchase one. So that way we can do a little bit of quality control, filter out anyone who's just a robot, so to speak, and really kind of build something that is meaningful.
Amazing, Leighton. Well, I will leave the Blockchain Boys Club website and the Discord link as well in the description box below for the viewers. All the best with growing out the club. I'm looking forward to this pre-sale and the launch and exploring some of the benefits that you mentioned today, and I'm looking forward to following up in the near future.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time, Ashton, and thank you to everyone who's tuned in.